I think we're live. I'm so sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to the sorry. Welcome back to the Nemesis Game League. We're in the playoffs. This is massive. Joining me in the booth is Chunk Light. Chunk, how we doing, man?
Doing great, doing great. Excited to see how this will shake up tonight.
Yeah, I mean it'll be an interesting game here. I will say Hypernova versus Ember is the matchup, first off. Now, you have some inside sources, Chunk, so you were telling me some really secretive information that honestly might sway the channel point predictions here. So, if you want to go ahead and give that information out, you can. If not, win your channel points.
Whoa, whoa. I don't know
I
anything, bro.
you
I'm
don't
not
you don't
throwing
know
my
any.
own channel points.
Okay, okay, all right. I won't say anything either. We'll just have to see who's starting in the lineups here. Um, but it'll be an interesting one as I do see all of Hypernova here. Ember is the team we're waiting on. Chunk, do you know some of these players? You know a little bit about them. I know Ember pretty well. I know Crowterra, but I don't know a lot about Hypernova, to be honest.
Yeah, so Hypernova, you got an interesting squad, right? You got Crowterra, right? Everyone knows Crowterra. I played with him when he was in provisional. He robbed me of my MVP. Then you've got teaming up with him. You got Vex and IzaChad. Really solid duo. They won a championship in a different league, so they've got that chemistry built. They've been playing with each other for a while. So I think that this will be a phenomenal game, at least teamwork wise for Hypernova. And then on the other side, right, you got Ember. You got some solid players. You got some solid players. I might be able to leak some sources now that I'm talking about it. I heard from other people Jaegers will not be playing. Don't know if that's true. I heard sources on a different game that were false. But if that is true, that is a big blow for Ember. But Cog and Kovalchuk will have to pick up the pace with East Coast Killa. I don't know how familiar they are with playing with them, but it will for sure be a rougher ride if that is the case.
Yeah, and I do think that like Cognition is kind of a player that you can play around. Like he can play with anybody. It feels like he is a very solid rotational player. So you put East Coast Killa, who I haven't seen play in so long. But last time I saw him play was just an absolute freak. Like just went and just goes. And so last time I saw East Coast Killer play, that's what I remember. I mean, I could be completely wrong by now. I really couldn't tell you. But I think Cognition is a very adaptable player, very smart guy. He likes to, think about the game whenever they're in a series. And in a best of 7, whoever makes those adjustments really can come out on top here. So Hypernova, I think, do have the edge, especially if my GOAT, Jaegers, is not here. Um, I think, as a whole, though, if Jaegers was here, I would pick Ember. I mean, they're 13-5. They had the same record as the 1 seed. Not the same game record, and I think they lost some head-to-head tiebreakers. But the top of prospect is very, very close. So gonna have to see if that form is gonna be here. Have to see if the Ember players are gonna be here, as we are still waiting for them to join the lobby here. But just looking at some of the other prospect matches that have gone on, there's only been Gladiators Bandits, which whoever wins this one would go on to play the Gladiators, as the Gladiators beat the Bandits 4-2. And honestly, is yeah, uh, so the 2 seed of the Gladiators, versus Hypernova or Ember. I mean, it doesn't matter who they play. I think this Gladiators team is quite ready, but they're definitely watching with some anticipation here. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this Hypernova team is gonna get the dub because I think I like Crowterra just enough. Um, and now we are. I see Marco in the Twitch chat saying Jaegers is on the way, and
Oh,
I trust Marco with every fiber of my being, unless he's on defense. So I think it's a pretty good shout. So we'll have to wait and see. But Chunk, if saying Ember does have their full lineup, Jaeger shows up. What are you seeing this series going to?
I see this being one of the closest series. Like I could possibly predict. These are like
I see him on. I
Titans
see.
going head to head. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I
especially
just
with
saw.
the Jaegers.
Yeah, I just saw Jaegers hop on Rocket League. I saw the Steam notification. He's my friend, by the way. What a great guy. Um, yeah, so I do think um, with the whole roster, I'm gonna take the Ember team. I know I just said Hypernova, but with the whole roster, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Ember team. I think Cog and Jaegers and Kovalchuk can get it done. However, one caveat: I can see a crash out happening. And there's a certain player on the Ember team that I think is can crash out. And if that crash out happens, usually it's after the the series. But I've seen Cognition. He has crashed out before, so maybe you demo him a lot. I don't know. Maybe you outplay him a couple times. You demo him. You do whatever. I feel like this Hypernova team can bring it on, turn it on. I'm getting flamed in the Twitch chat. Critter, I'm sorry, man. But I'm gonna take my boy Cog. Hi, Crow. It's good to see you. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not picking you either, Crow. Maybe you don't leave my org, and maybe I'll pick you next time. But neither here nor there, as we are still waiting on the Ember players to join up. But Chunk, man, how's it going? How's life, man? I don't know if you noticed, but like I've just been eating these chips and queso this whole time, and it's been really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this team will play. Just Hypernova, big friends with IzaChad, just like you're big friends with Jaegers. I know his success. I know like what he's been through and how he is as a player. Right, he is very successful when it comes to playing in leagues. He is a force to be reckoned with. I believe he's got several runner-ups. He's got a championship in 2 different leagues. He is a phenomenal player. And then Crowterra farmed me in provisional, so I'm very familiar with him as well.
Yeah, no, I played with Crow a couple times. He is a goat. I do love Crow, but he can actually play so well, and he's usually really good at connecting with his teammates. So seeing that duo that you said of IzaChad and Vex, if they can connect with Crow, I can see this team doing wonders in this playoff run. It has to start here, though. I'm excited to see it happen. I do think you have a very good powerhouse of like an offense in Jaegers alone. Like he's just kind of an animal, just dives at the ball. And on the other end, you have Cognition in the net. He is usually pretty how to say this, pretty stout on the defensive end. So sorry, I just got the craziest ping from Gio. So I do think that it will be a very well even matchup. I feel like you're gonna see more solo plays coming out from the Ember squad and a lot more passing plays coming out from Hypernova. It'll be an interesting matchup style wise. So I'm excited to see that as well. But either way, nothing matters if they don't join the lobby, as we are still waiting on them. And you know what, Chunk? None of this can matter. They could just FF, and sadly, would not be the first FF this playoffs. But we would like to avoid that. Yes, I know Jaegers is on Rocket League. I did see it happen, but we are still waiting for them to join the lobby. That is the most important part. Critter, don't worry. You got your wish. No FF. The boys are here. Ember is here. I'm taking Ember. It's gonna go to 6. Chunk, you've been very confident about it going to 7. Who you taking? Final prediction right now.
Final prediction: I got Hypernova in 7.
Hypernova in 7. Some Twitch chatters might love you for that one. As Cognition gonna try to get us started early here. Vex able to make a huge save early. Jaegers trying to keep that ball in this Ember's half, or sorry, in this Hypernova half. As now Cognition and Jaegers both on that one. Kovalchuk is gonna be there, and I don't know what just happened to his car. I could not tell you, but Vex doesn't get the touch. Jaegers looking for the shot. That was off the backboard. Is the shot gonna come through? Cognition couldn't get it on as Crowterra had to save away. Crowterra is just super solid, able to get that clear out. And some early offense there from the Embers as Jaegers looking to do a little bit too much there. Didn't have the boost quite for that air dribble, but Kovalchuk still able to get a nice clear out. A huge touch there, though, from Vex. IzaChad with the demo. but Cog did get that ball cleared. Crow, not the best touch, but a big demo there from IzaChad. Physical play, not something that I quite expected coming out from IzaChad, but maybe I should have. But Kovalchuk pops that one in the air. Jaegers gets dusted there by Crowterra. A huge beat there. Crowterra could have put his team in a dangerous position, but instead, he's going to get a huge 50, grab some boost, get a huge 50 once again. That ball going to somehow roll over to Kovalchuk, and some back and forth action already. No goals have been scored yet, Chunk, but I feel like both these teams are testing each other very well so far. Nothing quite sticking, but IzaChad, being the demo demon, is at least creating a lot of pressure here for this Hypernova's team.
Yeah, I feel like IzaChad just wanting to kind of open up things with these demos. Kind of been caught out with making a couple missed touches as well. You just gotta make up for mistakes, try to clear up the field, not get punished, especially here in this game one. You gotta kind of play it cautious. Gotta make stops when you need it, as Vex has had two, and it goes crossbar down here. Flip off I think just a missed touch 50 on the wall.
I mean, whenever you get dunked like that, there's not much you can do about it. That one, just a huge dunk there from Kovalchuk. And Ember's getting us started early here with a good, just, very skillful goal. No luck involved. Rocket League is a very skillful game. Kovalchuk now has to clear that one to the corner. Not the best touch, though. Crowterra can capitalize to go for the shot. That one gonna go high. Now, Cognitixn, no boost to work with, so his touch is just going to be over to Vex. Vex looking for one more. Has his teammate IzaChad in the middle. That duo looking to connect early. Not able to strike the back of the net right there, but a good look. And that's what you want to see coming out from this Hypernova squad. Cognitixn trying to do it all. Doesn't have the follow-up. IzaChad also had the save. Kovalchuk sends that one back to his own corner, but that ball is not a great bounce. He still has the clear. Doesn't have the best touch, though. It's going to be Jaegers trying to clear that ball out. Vex trying to keep that ball in. Vex now looking for the double. Has it. That one straight down as Jaegers gets the clear. Gets that clear long. Crowterra looking for the shot. Kovalchuk, a little bit of time here. Tries to play to the corner again. That touch just a little too far. And Jaegers, after grabbing that boost, has to take that one towards the other side. Cognitixn bangs that one down, but Vex has been sitting as his third man very patiently, trying to play that midfield game, and I feel like Vex has done a good job, but that's a huge touch there from Cog. Kovalchuk just couldn't get to it. No boost really here. Only Vex has boost, and that ball was rolling. A huge call there from Crowterra, I believe, to just leave that one for Vex. He knew that no Hypernova player was going to go for it. But still, a 1-0 lead here for Embers. And, Embers with this 1-0 lead, I feel like they put on more pressure. Hypernova, I feel like, haven't had the great shooting opportunities that I've expected to see. Because I feel like they've been playing pretty solid so far.
Yeah, I feel like they're just kind of stuck in their own half, kind of trying to get off their back foot, as Kovalchuk will find another one here off I think another missed touch. It just goes off, and then Vex not able to get back. They've just been kind of turtled up here, Flip. They can't get out of their own half. We've seen them try to go for demos. We've seen them try to go for passing plays. But so far, they've kind of been stopped just from, I would say, a lot of backboard presence has shut it down, as Jaegers gonna be up near that backboard again. But the backboard has been shut down, and I feel like that's kind of what Hypernova's expecting here in this game one.
Hypernova still looking for their first goal here, as Cognitixn sends that, Crowterra sends that one long. Cognitixn able to get that touch, though. IzaChad over to Vex. Vex looking for the shot. That one off the backboard, the finish. Top left corner, why not? Open net. You gotta place those. And a huge play there from Hypernova, cutting this lead in half with a minute left.
Yeah, IzaChad got bumped into a better position, really. Gets a pass to Vex as well before he gets bumped, and able to be back for Vex's shot, pass, missed opportunity, but they're able to get a goal here off a nice counterattack.
Now another opportunity here. It was Vex looking for the shot, and a huge save coming out from Cognitixn. Realizes that was a threat immediately. Kovalchuk got bumped. Crowterra does not have the shot. Cognitixn might have owned goal. That one just high. Huge 50 there. Kovalchuk gonna take that one. No. Cog looking for the 50. Crowterra finally able to get that one back mid. Still looking for one more touch. Kovalchuk getting in the way again. And Kovalchuk again getting in the way. Maybe one more here for Kovalchuk, and he goes again. Huge dunks there from Kovalchuk. Now Cognitixn looking to punish. Tried to go high, going for the double. IzaChad had the save. The touch there from Vex, so not great. Jaegers shot. That one's going to be wide and high, but So good save away by Crowterra, and a 2-1 lead, a 1-goal lead is all you need in Rocket League. And now, as time runs out, Hypernova looking for one last play, a double pre-jump, but Vex has an opportunity, gets the beat, go the double, that one to Crowterra, that one on target, and it hits the ground. Devastation if you're Hypernova. Ember, their heart rate increased tenfold that day, and they do survive game 1 here, hanging on with a 2-1 win.
Yeah, incredibly close call out there at the end. They had an insane double there by Vex to kind of set up a play. Crowterra just not able to find the power and put them put the ball up to get it in, to make it overtime, really, as Hypernova kind of looked to come alive in the latter half of that game flip. They kind of showed up and kind of played their own game compared to the first original half. I feel like it kind of changed, paces kind of changed mid-game, so I'm wondering if we kind of see that, just how the Hypernova kind of played more as a team.
Yeah, and now it is a little bit more of a change of pace, because we just had Kovalchuk sub himself out because, and I quote, his internet is doo-doo. So, East Coast Killer, who we thought was going to be the sub for Jaegers, is instead subbing in for Kovalchuk. Excuse me. And now we'll have to see this Ember's team put in some work. They were kind of outpaced, it felt like, in the latter half of game 1. East Coast Killer trying to change that narrative immediately. Vex, not a great touch. Jaegers, the pre-flip doesn't get there in time. No boost to work with. Cog with a nice touch. IzaChad to clear that one over to the side. Jaegers looking for the shot. Crowterra, a little awkward. Jaegers had that bottom left corner. That one slotted beautifully.
Yeah, just a lot of panic off the original shot from Cog, and Jaegers able to put enough placement on that. Cog kind of threatened another touch, but not even needed, as Jaegers put such great placement on that, and Crow not able to get a save there.
Touch from Vex, met by Jaegers off the ceiling. Crowterra looking for the double, maybe a pinch here into the corner. Kind of awkward. East Coast Killer making that touch though. Huge touch there. Looking for the follow-up. Not able to get it. Vex in the corner. Cog going to get that long clear. Crowterra, not a great touch. Tried to drop it for his teammate. 2 players there from Embers, but nobody hit the ball as IzaChad got the clear. Crowterra got the dunk. Crowterra, the shot, not on target. Would have been a huge angle. Instead, it's Vex looking for the pinch, didn't get it. Jaegers doing some nasty things on that wall, and now able to get that ball cleared. That is a huge shot from IzaChad. Bardowski, a huge play there. East Coast Killer a little caught out.
Yeah, the ball goes exactly midfield to IzaChad, who beats out Cognitixn, trying to follow up the dangerous pass, and Chad just beats him to the ball and gets a great shot, caught last man out. It's going to be interesting to see how East Coast Killer adapts after not playing the game 1. We'll see if he can warm up to how they're kind of playing with Kovalchuk being their main goal scorer in the first game.
Yeah, and I felt like Kovalchuk was getting really good 50s. This time, though, it's going to be Crowterra. No boost, really, to work with. Going for the flick anyway. East Coast able to make that save, though. Great save there. Vex, no boost. Able to hit it off the sidewall. IzaChad. Shot going to go wide. East Coast trying to follow this one up. Gets Devo, so Jaeger says, don't worry, I'll take that one for you. Able to get the clear, but Vex is going to be there. And a huge touch there from Vex. East Coast going to try to meet it. Crowterra had him met at that 50. Cognitixn, one touch. Not a great one, though, so Jaeger's going to have to follow it up. Cognitixn couldn't get the follow-up touch, so Vex able to get that clear back into the Ember territory. Vex with one more pass down mid. Crowterra shot. Going to get blocked. Crowterra looking for the follow-up. Going to leave it for IzaChad. That one off the corner. That one going to be met by Jaegers. Looking for the shot. That one is now going to be cleared away by Vex. Vex now trying to find the follow-up. Looking for an air dribble. Crowterra could have a shot here. A huge misplay. And I think it's off the back of a great solo play here by Vex, but I think it's East Coast. No, it's Cognitixn. Just doesn't get the touch he wanted, and that ball just drops perfectly for Crowterra.
Yeah, great solo play from Vex. Not something you normally get to see from him, as he does play a lot of that third man. So it was great to kind of see him go up for that and make a play for his team here, get a big assist off a kind of miscue from Ember, and he will set them back up one in what has felt like a completely different game from even the latter half of game one. Just feels way different.
Yeah, and obviously Ember's still trying to figure out their rotations. It feels like with East Coast, it feels a little clunky to say the least. As now Jaeger's gonna have to get a touch on that one off the side. Well, IzaChad's shot gonna be a great one. A goal there is a 2-goal lead, and that's largest lead we've had, largest lead this Hypernova team has had, and it's a very important one. I feel like they're not letting this Ember team get comfortable at all so far, Chunk. And this Ember team, they kind of need that if they're going to play with a sub.
Yeah, it seems like Ember has given Hypernova a lot of opportunities off miss rotations, as we see a double commit there again. It seems like they've just really been taking what has been given them and put on excellent shots, great placement, great power, catching people off guard as another opportunity comes here, but a great save from Jaegers. They putting on an incredible amount of pressure compared to the last game, and I think that Ember's going to need to change something up, find the rotations, find good hits that don't get punished, just something to stop the bleeding here, as they have allowed a lot of goals comparatively.
Yeah, 3 goals this game. Not what you want to see for this Embers team as Cognitixn tries to find his own here. That touch is going to go off the backboard and cleared away by IzaChad. Jaegers, he's the shooter himself. Can't let him have free reign on net. He will punish you every time. Great shot there from Jaegers.
Yeah, missed little pop touch from Chad. Probably was trying to get that more straight up, but it leads out to Jaegers, who has all the time in the world to place it anywhere he wants, and Jaegers, the shooter himself, will punish you for that every single time.
Yeah, Vex down on the back wall, a little awkward, and Jaeger's going to have that touch towards the midfield, looking for one more. A great pass, Cognitixn gets there. IzaChad had that red. IzaChad now, no boost to work with, so it's going to be East Coast Killer, but IzaChad still got a touch on it. Jaegers now trying to play the beat, gets dunked out by Vex. Vex now, one more touch, Cognitixn going to have the 50. A huge demo there from Crowterra, but the 50 is even bigger. IzaChad just doing it himself here. His 3rd goal of this game too.
Yeah, gets a hat trick off another kind of missed touch. Cognitixn forced to go again. East Coast kind of caught back out again as 3rd man. We've seen this a little bit before in this game, and they've been caught out multiple times off just kind of miscues like that they've got to get patched up, or else they will keep punishing him for that. As this Hypernova team, I feel like, has become more comfortable as this series got on. I don't know if the sub out necessarily was good for them, as Kovalchuk kind of seemed he was playing fine for his ping and really leading their offensive pressure, and they have not found a whole lot of pressure here in the 2nd game.
Yeah, Vex looking for the shot. That's going to be a great one. Jaegers getting the save as well. A 4-2 lead here, and 2 goals is good enough of a lead, but Vex making sure that it doesn't get cut down to 1. Crowterra getting the demo as well. That ball bounced mid. Crowterra up. Not the best touch. He fakes it. That right there is beautiful work. And IzaChad's going to get himself his 4th. Holy cow, IzaChad is having a really impressive tournament so far. Great rotation, smart challenges, and he's consistently in the right place at the right time. Really liking what we're seeing from IzaChad this tournament. Clean reads, disciplined play, and solid composure under pressure. Sorry, I was reading Twitch chat.
Yeah, I do agree with that though. Chad, really good positioning. I would say is a great 3s player. Also getting better at 1s, which you've kind of seen with the solo plays. Vex will get 1 more for the road here off a great kickoff here. Just beats Cog again. Just kind of the same song and dance. Cog now able to get through these challenges. He can pick up the pace really. This game could be way closer, but like I was saying, Chad has been able to really lead this Hypernova team here in this game too.
Yeah, and just like that, East Coast Killer doesn't even give time to leave the lobby. He is gone immediately. Not the performance you want to see whenever you sub in. Definitely not. I feel like Hypernova really capitalized on a lot of bad touches. But man, IzaChad, he was the main benefactor, I think is the word I'm looking for. He was the main person that was getting the goals. He was that guy. He was that dude. Like, what else am I supposed to say? IzaChad had himself a game. Crowterra and Vex also played really solid, just really solid offense overall from the Hypernova team. The defense wasn't perfect, but it wasn't needed whenever you're scoring 6 goals on the other team there. And I felt like Ember really couldn't get anything going on offense as well.
Yeah, I felt like what Kovalchuk provided in game one was just instant challenges that really didn't let this Hypernova team have any room, have any space to get the ball open and make plays. And I feel like that's what really benefited IzaChad on the solo plays. We saw a flick there, we saw some missed touches. I feel like Kovalchuk's 50s really helped this Ember team, and we'll see if he can replicate what we saw in game one or if he kind of iced himself out by subbing himself out.
Kovalchuk is back, and Kovalchuk is here to play. His ping, 30. So, if I hear some lag complaints, I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying there's evidence to suggest. Oh, excuse me. Jaegers now looking for the pass across. Kovalchuk going to be there. Not going to have the touch, though. All 3 Ember's players were like right on top of each other right there, so IzaChad's going to have the long clear. Jaegers going to double commit with Cognitixn there, but Crowterra, his touch is going to be met by Kovalchuk. I lied. He's off the field. IzaChad with a huge demo. IzaChad back to his demoing ways. Vex now trying to get another solo play going. Kovalchuk's challenge, not great, as Jaegers has to get that one off the ground. IzaChad had that red. Any better of a shot, and that was definitely a goal. Cognitixn, his touch is going to be over to Kovalchuk. Cognitixn now looking for the follow. It's going to be Kovalchuk, though, getting the flick. No bump coming out from Cog. Crow trying to get one more. Jaegers was looking for the touch, but Koval had the pass mid. A little lack of faith, it feels like. I feel like I'm seeing a little miscommunication so far from Embers, but Jaegers able to clean up that as Cognitixn didn't get the touch there. Jaegers now looking for the pass across mid. That ball going to be saved away by Vex. Vex with the flick. Kovalchuk with 100 boost pad now. Looking for one more 50. Cognitixn's already there, though. Jaegers able to make the save. And it feels like this Embers team, they're challenged whenever I feel like the first man still has a play on the ball. And I feel like somebody else is always coming in whenever it's really not needed sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like that could lead to punishments later on in the game, but so far we haven't seen anything come to fruition from these kind of miscues and mistrust from their team here, as like so put one off the bar twice in a row as he looked to have a great shot there, but just sent away as this Hypernova attack miraculously fizzles off. Credit to the post, as we've seen Ember kind of have these miscues, but Hypernova not able to punish them. We've kind of seen some lackluster shooting, some unfortunate events happen to them, but I liked kind of how little opportunities compared to last game that Hypernova has got. Ember has really stepped up defensively.
Yeah, Kovalchuk now looking for the clear across. Crowterra did not have that read. Vex a little awkward on the back wall, but able to get a nice touch. Nice dunk. A huge pass there. Kovalchuk going to meet Crowterra. Crowterra able to dodge the demo and get the 50. Really well played there. IzaChad now getting a long clear. Cog trying to take his time with this one. Gets demoed though, but that ball bounces off the corner high. Crowterra barely able to get up there. Jaegers 50 Crowterra as Crowterra fell on that one, but Jaegers with the control. Jaegers looking for the flick. Vex is going to be there. A huge 50 there from Vex. Now Kovalchuk with 0 boost, not able to get the touch. Vex looking for the shot. Jaegers able to get the save. I'm choking, but Jaegers is not, as he is able to get that one off the crossbar and out. Cognitixn able to get the clear as well. 2 minutes remain in this one chunk, but still 0-0 here in these kinds of games. Feels like 1 goal, and that's all it takes. And it's going to come right here. Crowterra putting that one away.
Yeah, definitely a flurry of attacks from Hypernovas right now. They're out shooting 5-0 Ember. Not been able to really find an attack. We've seen miscues off like passing plays, definitely affecting their offense, but their defense has been pretty stout. Besides that last play, we've kind of seen a lot more opportunities from Hypernova that could be attacks, but Kovalchuk comes back and helps his team out here immediately with a big goal to equal up the game off the kickoff.
A huge shot there, and realizes, hey, I don't need boost to hit the ball on target. And Vex gonna get punished for taking his boost, and a huge dunk as well from Jaegers, getting that ball mid. Jaegers again with a great kickoff. Kovalchuk trying to follow this one. IzaChad a little awkward. Vex a little awkward too. Able to pinch it with the post and get that ball cleared. Jaegers looking for one more pass, but not gonna come through. Vex no boost. Cognitixn, you gotta make that save, buddy. Just kidding, it's off the post. Cognitixn though says thank you very much. It's in your net. A huge turnaround, and Ember down 0-1. Psych, I lied. 10 seconds later, they're up 2-1.
I think the really step up from Jaegers and Cog there. I think Kovalchuk had some issues there. We kind of saw him kind of stay a little lingering up in that Hypernova half. I don't know if it was lag or if it was just positioning, but Jaegers and Cog were able to 1-2 it back, quick counterattack, and Hypernova kind of caught off guard.
Hypernova now looking for an answer. Not going to come from Crowterra. Jaegers, he had the touch, he had the pass. Kovalchuk, he had the free jump of doom. And that one is now going to be a counterattack for Vex. Oh, a huge shot there from IzaChad. Almost placed beautifully. Would have to write another copy pasta for him for that one. Instead, it's going to be Crowterra sending that one across. Vex now with one touch. Kovalchuk able to get the clear. Crowterra a little awkward here, driving backwards and gets demoed. IzaChad, one touch, and a huge touch there from Kovalchuk. It's going to be met by Vex immediately. Vex looking for the pass. No, it's a shot. Kovalchuk with 0 boost, still able to get that one off his own backboard. IzaChad not willing to commit as he saw Jaegers coming in. Jaegers have to clear. Jaegers, you don't have that read. That one is going to get cleared away by IzaChad. Kovalchuk with a nice touch. Crowterra up in the air. Vex as well. That one to the corner. An opportunity here for Kovalchuk over to Jaegers, but no goal to come through. Cognitixn with one touch, a fake as IzaChad is able to get that ball cleared. Still, Hypernova need to make their next attack count, or this is going to be a Game 3 win here for Embers. And now IzaChad has an opportunity as Vex takes control to the corner. Crowterra gets a nice bump, but it might not be enough. Cog no touch. Kovalchuk though, the man who subbed himself out, just proved to be the most useful one of them all. Vex's save. The ball hasn't hit the ground quite yet. Crowterra trying to keep this one alive. IzaChad, that one would have fallen if Jaegers didn't touch it. Instead, it's going to be Crowterra looking for the shot. That's not a shot. Kovalchuk keeps it alive again. This is what I like to see. We follow this rule here in the Nemesis game. You keep the ball alive. Vex, that's not good for your team, letting it fall, by the way. That one is going to be our Ember win here, 2-1. And a quick turnaround from Ember. But other than that, I felt like Hypernova were in control.
Yeah, I felt like Hypernova, like I said earlier, they had 5 shots to 0. Ember came alive late in that game. You've kind of seen the tale of two halves in 2 of these games, in Game 1 and Game 3. But I do think Kovalchuk stepped up. He may have had some issues there, but I feel like Ember really can play around him as a player, even if he is lagging. Really showed up with a big goal there as well, so I think that's up to 3 for him, which is impressive if he is having those issues, being able to step up even through the pain.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes playing with the lag just makes you a better player. You're able to read a little bit more. I'm coping really hard for him, by the way. But Kovalchuk, he did get a goal, and he did get a nice save at the end. It didn't count for a save. It didn't get on the stat sheet, but he did get the save. So, going to be a huge player here in Game 4. And on the other side, Hypernova, call me crazy, Crowterra's been really quiet this series. Way too quiet. Suspiciously quiet. I've seen Vex make a lot of solo plays. IzaChad had a Chad performance of himself in Game 2. I'm looking for Crowterra to step up here in Game 4 as we kick this one off. This one right here could be a match point for Ember. Would hate to see it though, as Kovalchuk was looking for the shot. IzaChad has the save. Crowterra gonna get a free ball because Cog did not read that one. Crowterra now looking for the pass across. Had the good idea, but a demo is gonna send IzaChad all the way back. And now Kovalchuk not able to put it through. Cognitixn in the air with Jaegers. Kovalchuk rushing back now. Crowterra grabs the 100 boost. Crowterra, now's your time to shine. That is not what we were looking for. That touch, that was an opportunity for a 1v1, maybe a 2v1 with a demoer. But instead, it is still a 0-0 game here. And honestly, that one right there, not what you want to see coming out from Hypernova. Because I do feel like Kovalchuk almost had a goal. Hypernova kind of squandering their opportunities early here. Jaegers puts another good shot on here, Chunk. And right now I feel like Hypernova are the ones in control of this game.
Yeah, we saw a double commit Crowterra. Really just an awkward touch, not able to capitalize, but Hypernova has had opportunities. The shots have not really said on the score sheet wise. They have 0 to Ember's 3. They've been not able to find just a great opportunity as Crow off the post, and I don't know if he got another touch, but I think he just got blessed by that bottom little corner as it pops directly into the net. You can't really shoot it like that on purpose. I feel like, Flip.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's the best placed shot in the game. No, I agree. That one, I think different map. If that's Forbidden Temple, that's somehow bouncing in your own net. Like that's just the kind of like that post bounces a little crazy. But Vex is going to be taking that one. IzaChad couldn't get a touch, but Crowterra, he's the one that should be, thanking the Rocket League gods for that post bounce. As Jaegers got a touch off the backboard. IzaChad having to follow Vex's fake. And IzaChad now looking for a pass over to Crowterra. Crowterra's shot not going to get a favorable bounce that time. That one going to be just off target. Vex looking for a touchdown mid. Cognitixn going to try to take control. A huge touch there. And third man Crowterra is up. The shot just wide. Would have been a great one, though. Kovalchuk had 0 boosted net. Jaegers gets dunked out of his mind. IzaChad gets a demo. Kovalchuk is blind. Crowterra shoots it wide. That one would have been a 2-0 lead here for Hypernova. That's what they're looking for. Crowterra gets to pass his own teammate. Kovalchuk looking for the 50 on IzaChad, and he gets it. But Jaegers with 0 boost is able to follow it up. Crowterra now on defense. Gets a nice pop, but Cognitixn is going to be there. Vex trying to send this one down, take a little bit of control. IzaChad says, I will take control, don't worry. As he gets demoed. Gets that ball sent down to Crowterra's end. Jaegers plays the 50, wins the ball. That ball now going to get cleared away by Vex. Vex, one more touch, a huge one. That one going to go at the backboard. Kovalchuk doesn't have the read. The shot from IzaChad is not going to come through, though. Jaegers gets bumped. Still 0 boost here. Kovalchuk, though, picked up 100, able to get the clear. IzaChad in the corner. Plays one more. Kovalchuk's going to be there. Off the backboard. Vex doesn't have the read. The shot from Cog. He believed. And there, you just got to play the fake. You got to play the whip. You got to believe that your opponent sucked. And that one would have been a goal for Cognitixn. Instead, it is now 0-1 still for Hypernova. And they might make it 0-2. But instead, it is a open net. That's a very tough shot there for Vex. But now it's a counter-attack. Cognitixn shot going to get blocked beautifully there by IzaChad. Crowterra, 0 boost. Crowterra, it's an open net. Crowterra gets his shot saved by Jaegers. Not much more he could do with that one. Still, a lot of opportunities I'm seeing, but good enough defense is being played, or bad enough offense is being played. I couldn't tell you which one right now, Chunk, but I do believe it's entertaining.
Yeah, I do think it is bad enough offense. Both teams have had opportunities here. Just a lot of faith in other teams as we do see one come through. Eventually, something will fall as Vex off the bar again. Is what feels like has been plaguing Hypernova, but Kovalchuk not able to save the follow-up by Crowterra, who has kind of shown up. He's had a lot of opportunities. He's shot 2 of them, which is good enough to put his team up 2 here to look to tie the series in game number 4.
Yeah, I'm not looking for perfection here out of these prospect elites players. That was a rank back in the day, by the way. I don't know if some of you guys weren't around for that time, but these prospect players, I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm just looking for good enough. And you know what? Crowterra has been more than good enough this game for sure. 2-0 leads all you can ask for if you're Hypernova. You know what? I lied. You can ask for a 3-0 lead right now. They're trying to make that happen as Vex hits that one back mid. Kovalchuk gets that one down to Jaegers. Jaegers gets it back over to Kovalchuk. A huge touch there from Crowterra. Jaegers trying to play a little bit of possession as IzaChad dove immediately. Kovalchuk going to look for the pass back to Cognitixn, but Crowterra had that one read, and Crowterra has shown up huge here. Vex with a nice pop, but doesn't have the boost to follow it. Cognitixn doesn't have the touch either. Vex looking for the control, gets a nice 50. IzaChad now 100 boost. Looking for the flick, doesn't get it though. And Jaegers with 0 boost. And too little time, it feels like, for 2 goals. Vex with a nice touch. Vex, don't you do it to him. The pass, Crowterra, the hat trick, give it to him. A huge play there from Vex though. What a first touch. That is just beautiful.
Yeah. I would say a really good touch. Vex with the playmaker as well. He has been feeding Crowterra. This connection has got them all the goals here in this game. As IzaChad kind of taking the back seat in this game. Doesn't need to try too hard when you got teammates that are able to connect and put such great individual plays, Vex playing phenomenally this series so far.
Yeah, that was a great pass, and obviously 3 assists, 3 goals. That's a duo that you gotta look out for. IzaChad himself, having himself 2 saves, definitely showed up when he needed to, but if he didn't need to, why should he? Great overall play here from Hypernova. On the other end, I hate to be, mentioning the elephant in the room. Actually, I feel like it's the mouse because they're so small, and I'm talking about Cognitixn's points. That's just not good enough if you're Cog. And I'm gonna be completely honest. He had 2 open nets, but they weren't open. But they were. Basically, the player that was going for the ball on Hypernova's team missed, and then Cognitixn, I think, was for some reason believed in them, and then he missed on the follow up. So I'm just saying, like, Cog, if you think in your head, man, these guys suck, I'm just gonna play the ball, it's a goal every time. Instead, he is having faith in this Hypernova team, and that's respect to them. But I'm going to start needing to see some disrespect to them if you're Cognitixn here, because that's the only way that this ball is going in the back of the net. You got to read the fakes. You got to read the whiffs. You got to read the fakes. It's just how you play Rocket League, man. And so going into this Game 5, it's now a best-of-3 chunk. Once again, our last series went to 6. This one, it might just go all the way like you thought. I had Embers in 6 here. Let's see if they can make it happen. Hypernova, but this man Crowterra specifically is going to make me eat my words.
Yeah, big kind of missed touch from Jaegers. He thought Cog was there. Cog kind of gets beat out again. Big read by Crowterra, interrupting the pass before it really got dangerous, just off the kickoff, and able to set them up here early, really foil any plans Ember had at getting some early momentum in this game.
Yeah, and Vex could have had a shot there. Instead, it's going to hit off the backboard, and Jaegers gets the clear. Crowterra towards the midfield. Some boost to work with, just trying to get a touch. IzaChad also had a touch, but that might be an open net. The demo doesn't come through! Kovalchuk thought he had an open net, but instead, it is the open net that he has. Wait, what I meant to say was, Vex now has the open net. Anyway, basically, Cog missed the demo. Vex got an open net. Huge play here for Hypernova. Gonna go up 2-0 here in Game 5.
Yeah, just kind of a missed opportunity offense. They sent the house, didn't find anything from it, and Vex punishing it, running the 99-yard drive right down the middle just by himself to put them up here 2 off 2 great solo plays, but Cog gets a big shot here that kind of shun the haters here, shun the haters here, as he's got more points than he does last game by about twice.
Wow, that's big haters. And you know what? Yeah, that's a really good shot, by the way. That's just insane. And, he just had the confidence to go for the ball. He's not reading a touch. He's just going for the ball and saying, I don't care what happens. And that's great. Cog, great shot there. And now we'll see if he can continue to step up here in Game 5. As Kovalchuk with a great touch there. As Jaegers looking for the clear out. Crowterra is going to have the touch, though. Kovalchuk with 1. Vex not channeling early. I think he was maybe backwards there as Cognitixn hits that one off the sidewall. Cognitixn hitting that one back to the corner. Not the bounce I think he was looking for. But that is still going to be an opportunity there for Embers. Would like to have seen them do more with it. As Cognitixn now hits that one off the sidewall. Looking for one more touch. Vex with a great dunk. But it's going to be Kovalchuk taking his time. Getting the possession. Trying to get another beat. And he does. In the corner, 0 boost to work with, just hits it off the ceiling. A little awkward here. Crowterra doesn't have the touch. Yes, he does. Never mind. I'm sorry for ever doubting you, King. Vex on the counter attack here. Look for the pass across. That one going to be met by Cog. Cog, 0 boost to work with. Still a good 50, though, coming out. Vex off the corner. Jaegers the shooter. Jaegers the dunker this time. Cog the demoer. That one going to be back to Jaegers. Off the backboard. Jaegers gets another touch. That's around Crowterra. Vex is going to go for it. That ball bouncing mid. Cognitixn a little awkward. That one he has to hit off the corner. Crowterra 0 boost. Jaegers as well, 0 boost. Vex is going to be able to finally get that ball clear. Kovalchuk driving backwards on a little stroll. Who likes half flipping? I know he doesn't. That one is going to be a huge shot from IzaChad. The placement is there. Hypernova 3-1 lead.
Yeah, the leisurely stroll kind of lead to a pass to Cog, who doesn't get the best of touches, and Chad gets it right by Jaegers, who I thought had a great opportunity to save that ball, but Chad just put too much placement, too much mustard on that shot, was not able to find an answer there for Ember.
Yeah, and now it's Crowterra looking for the bump off the, like, he had a nice pass from IzaChad. Crowterra popped that one up for Vex. Crowterra went for the bump afterwards. It would have been a great team play, but Jaegers had that one read. Great touch there from Cog. Vex trying to corral it here. That one should go off the corner. The shot from Koval off the post. Jaegers the team pump, but no follow-up is close enough here for Hypernova, but still a 3-1 lead here for Hypernova. Vex might have chowed, but he didn't. Jaegers couldn't get the shot. It was a great fake chow there from Vex. Cognitixn just going. A great 50 there from Vex as well. Jaegers gets the demo. Gets the boost as well. Going to try to turn on this one. Gets a nice pop. That ball falling right back to him. Gets a nice pop over the next one. The 50 doesn't come through for him. IzaChad. Huge save there. Still. Minute 45 remaining. Crowterra with a huge demo, but the shot's still there. Vex able to make the save. Trying to get the follow. Just Kovalchuk back. Kovalchuk just sends it. Able to get a touch. Cog gonna just send it as well. IzaChad a little awkward. Kovalchuk gonna get a touch, and IzaChad gonna send that one to his corner. Jaegers gonna be there off the backboard. The read is there, but Vex has the dunk. Cog on the side wall tries to get the beat on one, but Vex is being so patient with his challenges. Vex has been challenging extremely well so far. Kovalchuk with a nice touch here. Jaegers is gonna be in the air. Massive fake. That's what we like to see. Kovalchuk getting the goal.
Yeah, right over a defender too, if I believe. Jaegers big fake. Chad just watches on as Crowterra gets a beat out as last man. Kind of got caught off by the big fake from Jaegers himself. Think that will really set him up here, as they're within striking's distance, and they definitely do have all that potential. They just need to be careful on defense, as everybody is panicking on the side of Ember.
One goal is all it takes for the win, but it's not gonna be easy. They gotta get out of their own half first. Vex gonna let that ball fall. Crowterra did commit on it. IzaChad gonna try to go. Kovalchuk does not have the touch. Jaegers with 0 boost, so it's gonna be Cog instead. Trying to get one more towards the back wall. Gets the dunk. Kovalchuk not gonna have the shot. Jaegers now. The nice pop. Doesn't get over Crowterra, and Cog and Kovalchuk with 0 boost racing back. IzaChad looking for the 50. Jaegers has 100 boost, tries to take this one. Not the touch he's looking for. Kovalchuk gets it around one. Jaegers gets a pop, but it's Crowterra. Down to Vex. Vex looking for the shot. Would have been a disgusting one if he had it. Instead, it's Jaegers. Now it's IzaChad with the pop. Cognitixn with the bang. Vex, one touch. Down to Kovalchuk with the 100 boost. The pre-jump. Kovalchuk takes his time. Jaegers does not get the touch he's looking for, and IzaChad with an opportunity to put that one away. Instead, Crow looking to kill it. That one, a great play there by Crowterra. The fake into the drop. Hypernova win Game 5.
Yeah, big finishing plays there to not get scored on by Hypernova. There was a lot of threat. There was a lot of miscues, but they're able to stand strong, and you start to wonder whether Kovalchuk kind of is regretting subbing himself out during that big game too, as it is crucial coming down the stretch, especially it being so close in 3-2, losing these 1-goal games, also 3-2, and you've got to wonder if you can keep your head up against this relentless Hypernova team that has really been playing well off all the mistakes you make, kind of getting in your head.
Yeah, and Ember are calling that timeout, trying to see if they can figure out some kind of strategy here, but man, Vex, I think, has just been playing out of this world so far. He has been making really good challenges in the midfield, getting a lot of dunks, but I think his passes, his control is just really solid. And so we'll see if this Ember team has a plan for it, or maybe their plan is just score more goals than this Hypernova team. That is how you win in Rocket League, by the way. We'll have to see if they impose that strategy. But I don't even know what they can do, because I feel like this Hypernova team is just outpacing them, has more control than them, is shooting better than them, This Ember team, I feel like I don't know if it's the Kovalchuk internet. They just feel a little outclassed right now.
Yeah, just a little off balance, a little panicky if things go wrong, especially when you need to get desperate. You got to stay calm and composed like you did in the regular season, but now in the playoffs, everything's on the line. Any last mistake could lead to your downfall in the series, so you got to be careful and really have faith in yourself, I think, is what it comes down to in these games. Have faith in yourself and have faith in your team that you've played with for the entire season.
Yeah, and they are ready here for this game number 6 as we are going into Forbidden Temple where crazy things happen. And Vex and I believe that was Jaegers just missed on the kickoff. Or maybe it was Kovalchuk, I don't know, but it's going to be Kovalchuk here. Getting the pop over 1, does get demoed though, so Vex going to take his time, look for the 50. Goes under 1, gets a beat on the other one, Kovalchuk. Couldn't get there, so Cog had to make the save. Jaegers now going to get a pop over to Cognition. Cog puts it off the post and in. Jaegers with the booty touch of a lifetime.
Yeah, Cog gets it up to Jaegers, who pops it right over Chad, and Cog puts it off the post. He caught Vex out there as third man, eating the pole as they put themselves here early with a great team play, which we have not really seen a whole lot, but they have shown that it is possible.
Yeah, and I want to see some more of it. I feel like Jaegers has been trying to make these really interesting, weird, sometimes disgusting touches, but really haven't seen it come to fruition so far. Kovalchuk getting beat out there. Jaegers off the ceiling, not able to get the touch. Vex, you just got to put it on target, buddy. That one going to tie up this game nice and easy. And in game 6 here, a lot of panic, it feels like, on the defensive end of Ember.
Yeah, just a whiff can kind of set the second man up, who's kind of expecting you to hit it, kind of throw him for a loop as everyone kind of panicking on Ember, which has kind of been the story of this series. Is it's not just one person whiffing, it's a lot of people, which is unfortunate. You've got to have faith still. You've got to have good comms, especially if people know they're not making a touch or not making the greatest of touches. I think it's important for teams to really keep themselves composed.
Yeah, IzaChad now had a great touch there. That one over to Cog. Cog gonna back over to Jaegers. Jaegers going high. Gets one touch. Doesn't have the boost to get the follow-up, and IzaChad is gonna have that ball cleared. Now it's Kovalchuk trying to get the ball into this Hypernova half. Jaegers looking for the challenge in the midfield, but Vex wins that literally every time, it feels like. And he wins that one too. Bouncing down. IzaChad shot. Not going to be on target there as Cognition able to get the clear. Trying to get the follow-up touch. It's Kovalchuk now. Looking for the touch, but Crowterra this time, the one getting the dunk. Not able to get the shot. Vex is going to be there for it. The dunk is there. The shot just off target. Now, IzaChad looking for the pass across mid. Kovalchuk going to clear that one to the corner. And it feels like this is kind of where Ember gets stuck. They get the ball to the corner, and then there's just a Hypernova player waiting for them. Jaegers now with some control. This is what I want to see. That's not what I want to see, as Crowterra got a massive dunk onto Jaegers there. Vex now looking for the IzaChad pass. IzaChad couldn't get there before Jaegers had the 50. Cognition trying to get this ball past Crowterra, but this midfield of Hypernova is just so hard to break as Crowterra pops that ball up high. Vex already up in the air. Jaegers wins that 50. Cognition, his touch is good, but IzaChad was ready for it. IzaChad now just banging that one. Kovalchuk on the other end, trying to get the beat on him one, and he does. Vex got demoed. He got a good spawn. Kovalchuk looking for the pass, and Vex able to get a touch on it. Crowterra looking for the dunk, but it's going to be Jaegers sending that one to the other corner. 2 minutes remaining here, and a touch there gets dunked out. IzaChad looking for one more. Kovalchuk doesn't have the touch. This one, he's got to be caught by Jaegers there. I didn't see him on my screen. I was kind of worried he wasn't back in time, but he was there. His Cognition now able to get one beat, able to get the beat on another. Just Crowterra back. Crowterra just going to send it like a madman. No, he's not. It's going to go high, though, and the shot there from Cog is the opportunity you're looking for, but it just goes high, and Embers and Hypernova still at 1-1 here. Feels like someone has to break soon. this Ember team is applying so much pressure, but still, this Hypernova team is holding on, and I feel like the counterattacks from Hypernova are so close to working, but this Ember team is just holding on.
Yeah, one of the things I've been seeing off these attacks from Ember is they really fizzle out because one of them gets demoed by one of these Hypernova players on their way out, rotating back from defense. They find a demo that really disrupts these attacks and they aren't able to find something. So if they want to be able to find an attack, you've got to watch out for yourself and put yourself in a position to not get demoed, as we've seen that happen multiple times throughout the series.
Oh my goodness, a huge touch there. I believe that was called off his own post, but IzaChad's gonna have a free shot. Jaegers teeing it up for him. That one might just be game, set, match. But we'll have to see. Still 53 seconds remaining there. But Jaegers just turns in, gets the touch too high there, Chunk. And like I said, might be in the series. However, there's still some time left, and some kickoff shenanigans has happened, and really usually in favor of Embers here. We'll have to see if they're able to make it happen there. Cognitixn gets his shot saved by Crowterra as Jaegers hit that one off the ceiling to Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk looking for one more touch. Vex a little awkward. Kovalchuk hitting that one mid. Jaegers, you're up, buddy. Jaegers shot not on target. I think he was going down because he thought that the player in net had the touch. You gotta play the width. Jaegers now able to get the long clear. Vex, are you able to get there? He is. Vex, that double's not great though. Cognitixn, play the shot. It's there, but Vex is in the way. Jaegers, 19 seconds remaining. Gotta make a play happen. That's a great play there by IzaChad. And Vex up in the air as well. Crowterra looking for some control. Plays that one to the sidewall. Gets a huge touch to the corner. Jaegers just pops that one up. Doesn't have the follow. It's gonna be Vex looking for the shot. Jaegers had the save. IzaChad, zero boost to work with. Still trying to stay on that ball. Cognitixn, you gotta keep this one alive. IzaChad trying to play I can't find the words. It doesn't matter. Ember go down. Hypernova win game 6.
Yeah, this went about as I expected it to, after kind of seeing Ember kind of panic on defense, a little nerves, I don't know. But not to discredit the play from Hypernova, Vex especially, I would say, is a series MVP. Just incredible performance from him. I feel like he stepped up as a player. He had great touches. He had great like patience, because we saw him playing third man a lot, and I feel like that just helped out Hypernova against Ember incredibly. And I think that if you're Gladiators, you've got to be watching this game. You got to be watching what Hypernova did to be successful and find a way to shut it down.
Yeah, and I think it starts with shutting down Vex. I think that man, every 50 he had was not a 50, it was a 100, because he was 100% winning that thing every time. And it felt like no matter what, there was always a Hypernova player sitting in midfield waiting for the clear, and Ember just kind of got trapped in their own end. So, going on to the next round, they're going to play the 2C Gladiators. It doesn't get any easier for them. And if the 1 seed wins and goes all the way, they might have this Hypernova team, if they go all the way, they'll have to play the 1, 2, and 3 seed. Well, we'll see if that has to happen. We'll see if they can win their next matchup in the semifinal. But for now, they should celebrate their W, because that is a huge one here. And that's going to do it for the Prospect League semifinal match here. Chunk, thank you so much for casting with me. But I believe we still got one series left for the night. We're going late with these playoffs every time. And it's going to go down to the Novice League, where my Kiwis are going to go take on the Vandals. So that's going to be it for us here. So we will catch you guys very soon after a quick break, and we will see you guys then. Deuces.